See, now that I'm playing wearing a few more other hats, got to get this all going together. So, all right, let's. There we go. Now we are on the Zoom. So, welcome everybody to the AMA's Ask Me Anything. We appreciate that you are with us. We have an amazing community, and the whole idea behind Ask Me Anything is that you get to ask questions of us. And the very easy way to do that is by going in the chats and typing your question in. We will respond appropriately in the order in which we receive not only your questions there, but if you want to join me live on air here or on our broadcast, you need to be in Zoom. The Zoom link in YouTube is at the top of the chat. Go ahead, click on that button, join us, and then when you're here on Zoom, look at the very bottom, put your cursor in the middle of the screen on Zoom. On the bottom, you'll see a bunch of buttons. One of them says raise hand. Click on that, and then we will call on you the order in which we receive you. Now, we are right now, just to let you know, we have an amazing community. Thank you, each and every one of you, because we are now at 2.1 million views, and it's because of each and every one of you. So thank you all very much for participating in our amazing community. If you want to join our community, hit the subscribe button if you're watching us on Zoom. We always send out videos, shorts, live broadcasts like we're doing right now. The other way to join us is becoming an Imaginator, and that's very easy to do by going to roberthollis.com/join. And you can join us. It's a special group. We meet every Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific, and it's an exclusive group. So it's exclusive to people whose imagination is there and they want it to grow. And we help those people grow. We've got an amazing group. We will be meeting tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. But that's only for a select few, only those who subscribe at roberthollis.com/join. And before we get things started, I wanted to share this quote, which I really, really like. And Robert shared it earlier today. So if you haven't seen it, here it is. If you have, it's an amazing quote, and it's something to seriously think about, especially since it is this up here, our mind, that controls what we see, do, and how we feel. So the quote being, stop hating yourself for everything you aren't. Start loving yourself for everything you are. Something to think about. All right. And appreciate you guys joining. Hi, Jerome, Faith. I don't know. Sarah, I see you're on. Michael, I hope I've mentioned everybody who is at least here on the Zoom. And once again, if you do have a question, go ahead, raise your hand or put it in the chat. Raise your hand, putting your cursor in the middle of the screen on Zoom and click the raise hand button. So this is all about you guys asking questions. And Robert will be back next week on the AMAs. Again, he is with family this weekend as they get ready for welcoming a new family member by one of his sons and daughters-in-law. So that is what's so incredible. We are definitely about family. So I see Kevin Carney's hand is up. Kevin, thank you so very much for joining us. Let me go ahead and let's see. Let me do that. Let me do that. And then let me do that. Go ahead, open up, Kevin, and please share with us.
Hey, thanks, Greg, for filling in for Robert and Matt, by the way, first of all. Secondly, I wanted to ask, I guess, two questions. Yourself,
Sure.
when did you, I guess, read the Four Agreements? It was a great reminder. You did that podcast, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm. That
Um,
was about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, and I remember it's like, wow, it's a great reminder to reread the book. I haven't read the whatever it is. What I forget what you
Don
said.
Ruiz, Angel,
Fifth
something.
Agreement. It's Don
Yeah,
Reese Miguel. Miguel.
yeah.
Um,
Or Don Miguel Ruiz. I'm sorry, Don
yeah, yeah.
Miguel. Don Miguel. I read that, gosh, a few years ago. And what I loved about that is that it stuck with me.
Mhm.
It's an amazing, thought provoking, peace.
Yeah.
And especially because actually it's perfect in the way of for today's, stop hating yourself for everything you aren't, start loving yourself for everything you are, phrase that I shared at the top of this AMA, because um, it tries to get you out of your head from the thinking of all the things that are going on, which I know there's a lot, and especially today, but to kind of open yourself up and think, okay, in spite of everything, if you make these agreements with yourself, you're and you know, no one's perfect, but if you try
Yeah.
to make these agreements with yourself and do the best that you can in following these agreements, uh, I think your life improves. I know that when I take a look at these, and I have to go through them, every now and then, like reading The Science of Getting Rich, like
Hmm.
reading The Greatest Miracle in the World, or the Ogmandino's book, the
The
Greatest
greatest
Miracle in the
miracle.
World,
Yeah.
yeah, and the God Memorandum. Um, but it reminds you that it's just about what's going on with you, and even some of the discussions that we've had
Yeah.
during the podcasts on Fridays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, how it's you, it's all about you, and how you relate to everybody in the world. I just kind of had a weird thought this morning. It's like when you really think about it, you know, whatever's happening in your life is about you and how you relate to others. And that's what I think the four agreements are, really, is how you relate to others. You have your own life. You have what you've created over these years that you've experienced. I don't know how old you are. I don't care how old you are. I mean, I do. You look great, but you know what we've developed over the years is because of the experiences that we've had. And how do we want to relate to people? Because this is life, this is what we are doing. We have to associate with these other units of life walking around in what we call humanity. And we have to get along with people. We have to negotiate our way through this life, whether it's in the short term or in the long term, whether we live 30 years or 130 years or more. I mean, who knows? That may even be a possibility as things kind of continue to grow. And yes, there's going to be struggles because people don't believe what we believe in. In other words, I don't know. Where do you live, Kevin?
Yeah.
Seattle. Okay. Um, what you feel and experience in Seattle is different from the way that of the things that I experience down here in Southern California
Yeah.
and LA. Whereas somebody who lives on the East Coast, like I know Lisa Marie does, they have a completely different experience than we do because of their surroundings, their environment. Anybody who's watching on here, you have different experiences than each and every one of us here. But we do come together for the sake of humanity and getting along and surviving this thing that we call life. And that's what I love about the four agreements is that if you follow them, if you follow them and do the best that you can, actually, I should say, if you follow them to the best of your ability, let me put it that way, then you're pretty much on the right track. And it doesn't matter whether you're even from here in the United States. You could be from out of the country.
Yeah.
But thank you very much because I ever since I saw that, I was like, wow, what a really nice way to condense them into something. I don't know. I don't think I have them available at the moment because typically I can bring those up because like Robert or
Yeah.
Matt will be talking, but I will make sure that I post that link in the chat.
Oh, to the
Uh,
YouTube. Yeah, actually,
yeah,
speaking of which, I that's what I did with Robert's gifts too. I don't know if you're familiar with this app. It's called Boards, the
no, I
Boards
haven't heard of
app.
that.
I really like it. It's a simple, really simple way to share things
Okay.
on your keyboard with your phone. And another thing that I really like about it is you could create landing pages, kind of like a a new type of business card,
Hmm.
where you don't have to download the app. It's more to be able to share a link, and then I basically make it super simple. Share a link to like the summary of
Sure.
that book, for example, and then I have a picture of myself and say connect with me.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's kind
Arthur
of like
apparently is aware of it. They used
okay,
to, yeah. I'm not familiar with the Boards app, but I mean, to me, I mean, if it's a paid thing, then yeah, I would maybe, when there's other options available. But if you've got it for free, Kevin, that's awesome.
yeah. It's well, I mean, they have a free and paid version. A free version. It's pretty cool. So check it out if you get when you get a chance, or if you get a chance. I think it's pretty cool to be able to easily share things.
Hmm.
I mean, you obviously you're on top of everything to be able to share links. So it's probably similar. I don't know if you have a YouTube, Google
I
Doc.
do. Oh, of course.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I get a lot of the things that I share with you guys is, the one thing about doing this by myself is that I don't have as much of the opportunity to kind of step away, find the link, share it with you guys on both, platforms on YouTube and here on Zoom. But yeah, when I'm by myself, that's not an easy thing to do because I'm trying to manage the conversation, make sure I'm paying attention to you and the chats and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's just so many things that are available, and yeah, Arthur, I do that. I have actually for the things that a lot of times I will that we refer to here on these Zooms and these broadcasts. I actually have a couple of pages that I of links and shares and phrases that I use or that we use here all the time. So it's very simple for me to just go ahead, go over here, rip it, put it up, boom,
Mhm.
done. In fact, I have several of those open right now because I know that certain things I can go ahead and do, but what you're talking about, I wasn't expecting with regards to the previous version, the previous unlimited wisdom. But yeah, I will make sure that I get that posted here at the on the post description below the video on YouTube at the very end here as we conclude. In fact, let's see. I'm going to make a note here. Post for agreements, not dollar sign.
And do you guys like have any recommendations? One thing I found I really caught me with the forward agreements is never take anything personally. And
Right.
because the way I grew up, I would take everything personally. And I still do. I'm getting so much better, especially after reading that and great, Strangest Secret to
Mm-hmm.
everything, and making sure I listen to the Six Phase Guided Meditation
Oh, the six phase meditation.
every
Yes.
morning. I should. I still haven't. I need to get in the habit to listening to the God Memorandum at night before I sleep. But
Yeah, the what Wanda Kay did with that recording was just incredible. And again, I'm making notes here while you and I are chatting because I will post
yeah,
those in the post description on YouTube as soon as we're done here. But yeah, you know, it takes a while because obviously we are made aware of a lot of different things, and especially when we're learning to change our ways of thinking, it's not going to happen overnight. And no matter what, I mean, I honestly still listen to the Let Them theory
yeah.
with Mel Robbins. And she just did, Robert has touted that recent interview, which I will also post with her and Jay Shetty. And that's an incredible listen. But you can listen to everything that you want. It's the idea or the main thing is that you got to take the action. Now, is it going to happen overnight? No. I mean, it may. Let me rephrase it. It may, but nothing happens overnight that's going to stay with you permanently unless you've got just everything all laid out and stuff like that. But if you take the time to work on it, because as much as we like to think we're all perfection, we're not.
that goes in line with our business. A
Yes.
lot of people, I don't know, everybody has people who do nothing. I mean, in our society, we're more instant gratification
Hmm.
based, and same thing with the Koshicks. I have a lot of, I've never, I haven't blew up my a challenge because I'm pretty conservative.
Yeah.
But I imagine a lot of people do blow up their challenge because they don't listen. They do a huge lot size. They want to make, pass the challenge in 5 days.
Don't we all?
Um, which I'm almost still I'm still a little confused, not confused, but um, what's it called? I'm not overwhelmed, but sort of confused in terms of
Okay.
what to
Well,
do
I,
with
I understand where you're going with that. Yeah.
Akashics, for example.
Right.
I'm still doing a lot of the tap to trades, and I'm still not comfortable with the trade alerts. And like I mentioned, I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, or it was last week. I listened to Arabella and her live session.
Hmm.
I didn't understand a thing that she was talking about.
Yeah.
Um, what would you, I guess, Arthur, or what would you guys suggest? Or do you guys listen to any of the sessions or live?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Um, Arthur, I've seen on Joel Arias's
okay.
sessions. I'm on Joel Arias's sections. Arthur, I mean, if you don't mind, I might bring you in here because he may have some things that to share. And what I love about what Arthur has done is he has really taken this on to quite a level in that he uses it. And it's really amazing how he has succeeded. And what's interesting that I'm going to say, Arthur, when you're ready, let us know. But Robert just failed a challenge. Okay, I think Arthur, you had a few fails, didn't you, before you succeeded in getting to the funded level? Correct.
I had two failed challenges before I got funded and one failed after funded.
Okay.
So
So,
two of them were $50,000 accounts. One of them was a $200,000 account that I got on Black Friday. So it was only
mhm.
like $380 that I lost. It wasn't a big deal
So,
to me.
so would you, in terms of experiment, would you? I was thinking about with that May the 4th be with you, get a $10,000 challenge, just play around with it.
Whatever you can afford, I would suggest getting the highest one. Unless you are limited on funds, then I would get the one that you can afford, pass it, earn enough money to purchase a larger fund and max
Huh.
out.
Yeah.
So if you can afford a $200,000 fund, like when it was 50% off with all the add-ons, I
Mhm.
picked up three more for myself and one for my wife.
I think Arthur has a handle on this.
So I have a bunch of accounts in there just in case, because the free add-ons,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a great deal, even better than the deal they have now with
I
the
mean, do you
40%
do
off.
you trade? Do you trade on weekends?
No,
I thought that's what the one of the add-ons was. 90%, and others you could trade on weekends,
you
I
can trade
think.
on the weekend for crypto,
Oh,
but Bitcoin doesn't have very much volume to be trading on anyway. So if you like go in there, it's not moving very much to you're gonna have to like wait a long time. Plus the spread is like really high. It's like an
Oh,
eight
I
hundred
was just
dollar
gonna
spread.
say, yeah, that's crazy. I thought I was in the profit when I took a Bitcoin
Yeah.
trade, and then it was like, wait a minute, I took a profit, but the spread between the
Yeah.
buy and the sell
uh,
is
So
too
it's
large.
it's not moving enough for with the spread in there to make it even worth it. But the thing about uh, the weekend add-on is that you can hold over trades over the weekend. So if you don't have that add-on, Trade Locker is going to close out your trade on Friday if you have a gold trade for open, for example. Whereas if you had the weekend add-on, you can hold that trade, especially if you're like $300 negative or something, and the market, you're just going to wait for the market to go back up for the next week. You just hold over that trade over the weekend, and then Sunday, Monday, the market goes up, and you don't have to lose $500.
But that's based on what Arthur is sharing with us because I've seen it where I've come in on the week after or on Monday when the market's open or Sunday, at least here on the West Coast, and the market goes down big time and then it will slightly go back up. I don't know, Arthur, for you, but I know for me, I've noticed that the market is so volatile and it has gone down because it went up to for gold to 3,500 and then it's down to like 3,250 or something like that. So
Yeah,
it's
but
been a rocky road in the last week.
it
Yeah,
So I
well,
has.
took, go
usually
ahead.
about what, $20 a day at the most. But lately it's been what, $100 change
Well,
Yeah,
with
like
it's,
gold.
go ahead, Arthur.
if you look at like I told Joel this too, and the person that I have on my team, I told him I'm going to go back to just treating the tap to trades like a trade alert because gold is moving so much um, that I don't want to have that many losses anymore. Because I remember when Joel was doing trade alerts and 80% of them were winning and 20% were losing. Now he's at like a 47%, but you have a better risk reward ratio with the way that he's doing it. But if you don't catch them all, you're not going to have recovery trades to make up for that. So me going back to doing it the way that Joel used to, like I took out his three trades on Thursday morning. I held on to those all through that mess that it went down to 32.05 or whatever,
Oh
and then
yeah, I saw
it
that.
went back up. I was still in those trades while people were hitting stop losses.
Wow.
Held on to those trades, carried them through to Friday morning where I closed them out $2,800 in the positive, and then I caught another six or $700 with Arabella's gold trades. So I ended the day on
Yeah,
Friday
that's cool.
at $3,400 with no stop losses.
But see,
And the way that
what you're talking about here, Kevin, is someone who has taken the time to learn how to do these and to what to and respect the market. I agree,
yeah,
Jerome, badass. Yeah,
so
because
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
the way that I know that is because I went through the pain of learning Joel's master plan and doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again
yeah,
before he had tap to trades. And people were wondering, how do you have so many wins and like very few losses and your account's just going up? It's like because if you're doing it the way that the master plan lays out, you should have very few losses because if the market is moving up, you're taking partials, you're moving your stop loss to break even. Like on Friday or Thursday in the Asian session, I took another trade, but um, I took Joel's trade and everybody hit stop loss on that one. And that's when Joel was done. And I wasn't out on that trade. I kept it because I used a smaller stop lot or a smaller lot size. I
yeah.
used a larger stop loss. I did a $25 stop loss because so gold can move and breathe. But my risk, I still kept it at a
Point one
0.15%.
five.
So if I
So
needed
wait,
that extra room to move my stop loss an extra $5, it only bumped up my risk to zero point 0.2. So I was still below the 0.25%.
so what you're saying is you take the Joel's tap to trade and go on what, your computer and change all the stop loss.
I don't take his tap to trade. I set it manually. I treat his tap to trade like a trade alert.
Okay.
Since since when he started doing tap to trades, he was calling the same trade as a trade alert. So then he's just stopped doing trade alerts and just did
Oh,
tap to trades. So I'm treating his tap to trades like a trade alert. I'll just
okay.
go in there and set a trade. And I already know because there's a lot size calculator in the back of Akashics under the resources. You can figure out
Okay.
what your lot size needs to be. But I already know working on my accounts what it needs to be. And the percentages, if I go down, like if you're using a point 0.2 lot on a $200,000 account, you can go you can have a $10 stop loss. If it hits that, you only are losing $200. So you're at a point 0.2 or a point 0.1 percent risk. So knowing if I'm going into a trade at a point 0.2 lot and I have a $10 stop loss, if price is going down, I can move it another $10. Then I'll be at a 0.2% risk. I can move it another 5. So I'm like $25 stop loss. Now I'm at a 0.25% risk.
Oh,
So I can hold on to that trade as it's moving down and then it comes back up.
That's the beauty of doing the trade alert style, or the master trading, I think is what
no.
Joel called
Master
it.
plan, yeah.
Master plan. And I posted that link of the video that learned from the experts with Robert and Joel in both chats. So I would recommend watching that video because, yeah, I mean, there, and even when you tap to trade, and I did that, I think, earlier this week, because there was one time where I didn't feel comfortable. I thought it was started to go up, and then it really started to come down, and it started to come down hard. And I said, nope, I'm out of this. So you can stop it
Well, and
right
here's
there.
the other thing too with me doing switching back to this way, it's less stress and
Yeah.
it's less looking at the chart because if you're working with only uh a small stop loss of, $6 or $7, gold likes to move 10, $15.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that you'll hit a stop loss and then he has to call another tap to trade. And then everybody complains that he hit a stop loss. It's like, well, it needs to move. Gold needs to move that much. But if I when I had like such a large stop loss, now I'm not like worried. Oh, am I out of the trade? Do I need to go and wait for his tap to trade? Yeah, and do I need to like go and set another trade because I'm out of the trade? I lost $500. Now I need to go set another trade. Um, now I don't have to like think about that because I have such a huge stop loss and I'm working with such a small lot. I went and took a shower, didn't even worry about it during the Asian market, or I go out driving. I don't even like look at it until like I get stopped at a stoplight or I come out of a property that I just went in. I'll just
Yeah.
go in there and take a peek, but I don't have to like sit there and like watch and eye it and wait for a tap to trade to come in and just get it right at the right time.
Now, when Arthur's talking about $5, $6, $7, he's talking about gold going up and down, not the
Yes.
pips. Let's make sure that everybody's aware of that, because the pips is where, even though you may increase at $7, you could be making $70, $80, $90, depending on the lot size that you're working on. But what Arthur's referring to is the actual dollar amount of gold up and down.
Yep.
So
And
that's, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Arthur, do you recommend? I've only had losses on Fridays, and I've asked other people, and they've only had losses. Do you trade on Fridays besides that one, like you said, with the Arabella in
I
general?
do if there's trades being sent out, but after Arabella sent those out, gold didn't really move much. It only moved like $10 or something for the rest of the day. So
Oh,
there wasn't very much movement. It was kind of like in a consolidation phase where it was just going up and down, up and down. Not very much movement for the rest of the day.
okay. Yeah, I've just been I just kind of made the decision. It's like, oh, I'm not going to trade on Fridays at all, or even look at it. Unless like you said, unless there's like some sort of alert. But I think a lot of the educators don't even send alerts or
They
tap the
do
trade.
and they do in the morning.
Yeah,
Um,
I've gotten them in the morning. In fact, I get them throughout, actually up until at least around noon, maybe closer to 1 o'clock Pacific time, because
On
the whole
Fridays
thing
though, I
shuts off at about 1:55 p.m. Friday Pacific,
yeah,
okay.
the
and then
thing
that's
about
for the
Fridays
weekend.
is you don't want to be stuck in a trade if you're taking a late trade, unless the market's like really moving, but chances are it's not. So usually I'm done with all of my trades by 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. and then I'm just done for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Yeah, and besides that, you got to watch how the trades are going. At least that's what I do, because if you'll notice, like we were talking about, gold has been volatile lately,
Yeah.
and the markets basically have been volatile too, with everything that is going on today. So you got to just keep an eye on it. Mondays are usually the days that Joel has his live sessions and shares what he thinks the market is going to do during the week. And I would
Speaking
recommend
of,
watching those. That's usually Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific on the akashics.com or Akashics app, not on the Trade Locker. So just, yeah, be aware. Now, and he even says it could do this and it could do that. So you just got to get to where you're comfortable with saying, you know what, I'm going to take him this time. I'm not going to take him this time. There were times last week where I think even though he's been on vacation, he's posted 3 or 4 trades. I looked at it, and I usually open my app, at least lately, my computer to look at how TradeX is doing. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to do this. And I was really good at making that selection, even though he's doing it. But that's the whole idea, is he's giving you what he feels his best guess is on where gold will go. Nobody knows. We can only anticipate.
yeah, speaking of which, I unfortunately for me, I didn't realize he was on vacation. I wanted to listen to one of his lives, and I listened to a couple of his sessions, and they seem to be in Spanish. And he switches
The
to
first half is in
English.
Spanish all the time.
Oh, okay. So you just
It
put like open it, what about 10:30 ish?
About sometimes the calls aren't that long.
Okay.
Um,
Usually what I do is I turn it on and then I kind of keep I with my computer I have that window open and I'm watching and I just kind of anticipate approximately like maybe around the 20-minute mark. Usually he's going 20 to 25 minutes with the Spanish group. Usually.
Okay.
Okay. And then I kind of pop on, pop off and listen and just kind of keep an eye out on it. But even if you watch the replay, a good idea is to open the replay and then go to about the halfway mark in the video to see if he started his English, and then just kind of what they call, when you take the cursor and you move it along the bottom there of the video, they call that scrubbing. So when you scrub the video, you hold the cursor down, you drag it up to the right or to the left to find out where he's going to start, then watch it. That's another way to go about doing it. A lot of times I miss that on a Monday or a Tuesday. Actually, he only usually does Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So whatever time it is, then I will find out, okay, how long is it, about where do I start, because it's about halfway, and then I start finding that spot, boom, and then start. Otherwise, I know that he is going to start in Spanish and talk for at least 15 minutes. So yeah, just find out where it is, pop on the sound, turn it off, pop it on, turn it off until he starts speaking English consistently. Because in the beginning, sometimes he'll say, hey, I'm taking a tap to trade, or I'm taking a trade, here are the numbers. He'll do it in English and Spanish at the beginning, and then he'll do his Spanish presentation right away.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So
And I guess the last thing, just because there's nobody else has a hand up, I'm just curious. I want to like, I like the trading tap travel and trade, and my daily choice. They kind of veered away with it, more concentrate on dream trips by itself and Akashics by itself. Um, my by myself, I like to sort of focus on both the travel and trade part myself. And what do you guys suggest in terms of social media? Because I'm a little I'm confusing myself in terms of what I should focus on. Like groups, obviously if you're talking about traveling and
mhm.
nobody sees a post about traveling, they're not gonna like friend you, I guess. If
didn't you
that's
just go to Europe on dream trips?
I did. Well, I mean, in February, I went to Prague.
I saw your photo in there. So
Yeah, it was.
just take that photo or the photos that you took there and say,
Uh,
hey, I just got back from Europe, with on vacation. If
With
anybody
dream
is
trips.
with dream trips, if anybody is has ever dreamed about traveling and living a lifestyle of going to destinations they've always wanted, and then also supporting your life through trading, hit me up.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a very good one.
I mean, all those pictures that you took over there, use those.
Yeah.
because
No,
you're sharing the pictures
I haven't
of
even,
what you did,
we went
and
to,
that's
um,
important, especially on like Facebook or Twitter, so that it looks like you're actually doing something. So you're saying, "Hey, I was able to do this. Um, you know, you like it? Talk to
You can
me."
even say, hey, I was able to do this because of trading. Well, once you become, start getting funded and have money coming in, then you could, from trading, you can go on these trips and say, I'm able to do this because I decided in my mind that I wanted to live life a little bit differently. I'm able to do this because I started with my daily choice in their Akashics program, which has taught me how to trade and live the life that I want to live and afford to go on these trips with Dream Trips, which is another product within my daily choice. If you want to do this too and join me, let's go on the next vacation together.
And I
yeah,
would say, you know, put put a DM, say that contact me in the chat or DM me
yeah,
if you want more information, and leave it at that. Um, because you're promoting something that you've done. You've got the picture right there to do it. Yeah,
yeah. Good
so might
point.
as well.
And one cool thing about this, the dream trip that we had in Prague, yeah, I think it was really cool to collaborate with people who are super successful traders, super successful travelers. This guy, he was the host of the Prague trip. Attila, he's from Hungary. He's been in
Hmm.
over 100 dream trips. Um, Unfortunately, well, turns out it was okay. Turns out it was pretty cool. We went to Didnice. This is a town about an hour and 15 minutes away from Prague. It was an
Okay,
extension to the dream trip. It was really cool, but there was only two of us who went. So I guess find
doesn't
more people,
matter. Were you able to
find more
go?
people like to travel.
Yeah. I think, yeah, and actually Jay is putting it in here. This is really good. What products or services you use, why, and why did you enjoy? Testimonies make it real. Be open
Yeah.
to the cues. And that's exactly it. You're just saying, "Hey, I did this. Here's what I did. You want to find out more? Contact me." And leave it at that. Because
Yeah.
people will see these amazing pictures. Like, I've never been to Prague. My brother has, but I know that there's some amazing buildings there. Um, the churches, the synagogues, the government buildings, the plazas. I think that is incredible. And just say, "I saw this. Here's how I did it." Well,
Yeah.
in a sense, contact me for how I was able to enjoy this for less than normal, or something to that effect. So yeah, it's
Yeah, the
it's really
story.
neat.
Speaking of which, it's a great reminder for me. I need to maybe post more testimonial stories, like my mom, for example. I'm having her taking lion's mane, the Shan Tai, and
Hmm.
it's helping her a lot with her memory.
Well, just be careful on certain things,
Yeah,
okay? Because you can't say that the product. You can't
does.
make any claims about the products and things like that. Like medical type claims.
Yeah,
That you got to be careful with. But you can even say that, yeah, since taking this product, I'm feeling a lot better. And I agree, Lisa Marie. Disclaimer always.
yeah,
If you stick to the description on the products that they have on the pages on My Daily
Exactly.
Choice,
yeah,
then you should be fine because those are already cleared.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but if you
And
say that
like that,
it cured
sharing
my
other.
cancer, you can't. No,
Yeah,
no.
Like some of
You're
them will
gonna get.
say mental clarity and stuff like that. Like if you stick to those terms, like
Hmm.
that they have on the site, then you should be fine.
yeah. Same, I guess, same thing with posting other people's success stories with the Kashiks, of course. And I
Oh
always
yeah.
have that disclaimer. Uh, I
Well, if
actually,
you.
I was trying to figure out Canva because I Googled just put a picture on it. If you put on if I put a results on stories, you could
Hmm.
put a sticker. Um, well, maybe that's just Instagram. I can't
It
remember.
doesn't matter which social media you use. And I agree. Melody Ryba posted here in the chat, protect the mothership. It's not only protecting the company, it's protecting us. But the bottom line is that you just got to be careful when you're sharing experiences. And I mean, I will say this, when you're in the Telegram group, okay, everybody know there's a reason why people are there. And I usually do not share a disclaimer in there. But when you're talking about something like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, whatever those other social medias are, then yes, you do want to share a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of like, to go back to that specific, like you mentioned, there's disclaimers. There's no guarantee for anything. But even if you do say it's helped my mom remembers more better, that's not telling whatever you call it.
Well,
It's
again, just with like what Arthur did say, share it in a similar way that the company has put it together in
yeah.
their promotion. And here's something to think about. Somebody brought that up here in the chat too. I'm sorry if I can't remember who it was, but use AI. Use your chat GPT or whatever AI is to say, okay, here's the description. Here's what's happening. How can I make sure that there is no issue of a risk problem or maybe craft it in such a way that I can make a small one sentence, two sentence statement. Jody did, I guess. Okay. Thank you, Jerome. Craft a small sentence that I can that I can use to promote it so that I don't get tagged, flagged, whatever. But
Got it.
very, very important because, one thing you'll notice, like, for example, on these calls, we have in the post description below the video, we have disclaimers all the time because we don't know what we're talking about all the time. And some things may come up. Like right now, we're talking about trading. Well, okay, I could say, yes, please make sure that you know that in trading there is a risk. And we do know that. We do. But the public who watches this may not. So we have that there. And then typically when I have the opportunity to, like when Robert is talking or Matt or even Arthur, and they start talking about trading, I will post that in both the chats. But since we're talking about it now, I'm going to say it now that, there is a risk and just be careful. There's no guarantees of wins or losses.
Yeah.
You just got it. So there we go. So now we've covered that in this video. A lot of videos, especially when, like, if you watch the sessions on Akashics, because in a sense they are open to public, you'll see at the very beginning of the videos, I know Joel does this, he puts the disclaimer up. And he talks about that. And so, yeah, it's just to protect, like Melody said in the chat here, protecting the mothership.
Yeah, okay, it makes sense. I definitely don't post any my daily choice, like, what do you call it, testimonial product testimonials on my feeds. It's only on stories.
Mm-hmm.
If,
But even on stories, you're still have that. It's still considered public. It's not a closed group.
okay.
So that's where that's why I said in Telegram, when we share our wins in Telegram, for example, on our Imaginators Telegram channel, those are only for the Imaginators or the Trade Stars.
Trade Stars, yeah.
Okay. And now in the Trade Stars Facebook group, because that's a closed group, there's not a problem there because everybody knows what's going on. And we talk about it.
And the Trade Stars on Telegram, is it just anybody can join? I've gotten a couple spammers who say, I found you on Trade Stars type deal.
We
report
try
those to
to
us and we can remove them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know why, and I've even sent a message to Telegram to say, can we be very selective with who we invite into the group? And they haven't been able to put something together like we have on Facebook. Now on Facebook, they have to make certain agreements before we
Yeah.
allow them into the Facebook Trade Stars group.
You
And
can
if
do
that
that
was
with
the
you can do that with Telegram. Robert would have to set it up, but then you can't just send somebody a link and have them join.
yeah,
Um, they'd have to
it,
have like
it
a password to join.
it takes a little bit more, I think, and because I even saw that. I wish
But
it was similar
I
to
think
what
Robert
was
just
in
wanted it
Facebook.
open to everybody, and then we just remove the troublemakers as we go.
Yeah. So, and actually, Arthur is one of the people who does that. Arthur, Matt, Robert, myself, we're the ones who kind of keep an eye on it. So, if any of you get spam in that group, let us know, and we will go ahead and take care of those people because we don't
Okay.
need them in there. And I know if you watch the and sometimes you even get the people that are part of the Akashics group community coming in and kind of getting us to go as well. And then usually what I do is I report those immediately to the spam chat in the Akashics community so that they know
Okay.
and they will remove those people. It's one of those things that with social media, they're being social.
Yeah.
We just need to be more diligent, and so that's why thank you, Arthur, for helping out with
Yeah,
that too.
thanks.
We got to do that. So, anything else, Kevin?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Arthur. Thank you. I
You're
don't know if you
welcome.
have anything else to share, but thank you for helping. I appreciate that.
No,
Always
you're welcome.
appreciate that. All
You're
right.
welcome.
Uh, Now I don't see any other hands up. And what kind of? Oh, wait a minute. There is a question here from Faith. So Faith, sorry, I remember you did say that. Um, And let me get back to Lisa Marie in just a minute. But Faith, in what group does Joel message when he won't have a live? You know what? I don't know. Usually, what I do is I go to his the live session, and oftentimes, especially lately, I've seen people on there saying Joel is not doing that. I don't know if he has a private group or anything like that. I just go to the live during the live session and check to see if he is going live. Uh, if not, then I will look on. If I can't get to them during the live time, then I will go at the session replays because he usually posts them within about a day and see if it's there. If it's not, then obviously he didn't go live.
He posts in the Akashics Alerts official page group on Telegram where you get the
Does
trade
he?
alerts. He'll post in there like he did this week. He said, no calls this week because I'm on vacation in Colombia with my in-laws.
Okay.
Or that's what he's
Uh,
doing. So he didn't
oh, good.
he just posted once and then he just said no calls this week.
All right. I didn't see that at all. But then
Yeah,
again, I mean, that's the thing about Telegram is so many messages go up, and it's like he may have said that about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and how many messages pop up within that amount of time for you to even find that message.
right.
So yeah, I see Jay shaking his head. Yep, I've seen that before. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay. Lisa Marie did say something here, and she says that apparently our own GPT, our own Chat GPT, is programmed to Joel's trading, so that could help also. And that's part of the TradeStars GPT, which let's see. I'm going to go ahead. That one I do have. Now, Kevin, here's one where I do have it right here in a window that's open to me and obvious. So there is the link in the Zoom, and there is the link in YouTube, and I will save that as part of the post description links that I am creating. There we go.
I
So
haven't
we've got
tried this yet, but Matt said I think I remember Matt saying that you can take a picture of the chart. You can upload it to the TradeStars GPT, and ask it if what it thinks, if you should go in for a buy.
Ah, okay. So that's something to think about. So I would say if you're going to do that, use your computer and make sure that you have the full window so you can take the screenshot of the full window and
Well,
then probably add
on
that.
Trade Locker and in TradingView, they have the little snapshot button, so you can just click the snapshot and it'll save the snapshot of the chart.
Okay. I've never worked with the trading view. I only just see what's on the demo.tradex.com.
I think it still has a snapshot button up in the upper right hand corner somewhere.
Okay. And Eric says that he has used that. I've done the talk with GPT and used screen share. Okay, good. So thank you, Eric, for that. Appreciate it. So, all right, there we go. You know what? The whole idea here is that let's experiment on that. Let's try it. Isn't that, I think that was a topic that we had for one of these discussions, experimenting and trying. So, yeah, why not give it a shot? And that's the whole idea, is that you can get out and try it. I think Robert was even talking about that in one of the videos recently that we shared. And I forget which full, it was, I think earlier this week. Just get out there and try it. Do it. Don't sit back and think, because you know what happens when we get in our heads. Nope. So get out there, do it, try it, see what happens. What have you got to lose? Okay. Um, and yes, I agree, Lisa Marie. If we don't ask questions, we don't know if someone else has the same question. So, yes, give it a shot. What the heck? You know, especially if it's just a question, and if you're not going to lose any money, or in the case of if you are trading, if maybe you only lose a little bit, it's not that big an issue, and you see how it works. Sometimes that's what it takes. I'm sure, Arthur. How much have you pulled from the Akashics and TradeX stuff?
20,000.
Okay, so here's somebody who has taken the time. He's lost, but he's also won. And sometimes you need to lose a little bit to win a lot.
Well, you're going to lose. That's inevitable. It's just how fast
Yes.
you're going to lose it and learn from your lesson. You learn by failing, I guess, and then you learn not to do those things. So you get better over time. It's just a matter of, like Armin said, I don't know if any of you guys were on that call that was before the AMA today, but Armin said something that was pretty, uh, that I caught on to what he said. He said, you're going to have to put in the 100 hours of learning, whether you do that all at once in the beginning and learn all the lessons and go through the trials and tribulations, or it takes you a year or 2 years. He said, you're still going to have to go through the BS of learning. So just do it.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. You're going to make the mistakes. But one
The
thing,
other thing that he said, sorry to cut you off. The other thing
go
that he
ahead, go
said
ahead.
too, that I didn't write down, but I'll catch it on the replay and I'll write it down. But he asked ChatGPT, what are the 7 reasons why people fail in trading? And uh, it listed all the reasons, and like 4 of the reasons, he's like, well, you don't. 4 of these reasons are like technical analysis, market learning, um, learning how to read the markets and charts and stuff. He said all those are eliminated because we have the educators. That leaves us the last 3, which you guys are all in control of: discipline, mindset, and I forgot the other one that he said. But he said, that's the only 3 that you guys need to like worry about and get control over. Then you can start winning in this game.
It's all about this. Well, and learning that too. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully they will, excuse me, hopefully they will post that up shortly. I can't imagine why they wouldn't. So yeah. And
Greed and emotion. There it is.
oh, greed and emotion. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's got me a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I just need this little bit more, and I made it over, and then all of a sudden, bam, it tanks. So yeah, you just got to hold that in check. I totally agree with you there. So yeah, just keep an eye out in the Akashics community. Actually, I would even ask in the Akashics community if they have it available, and I'm sure they will make it available, maybe even on their YouTube channel if they have one. But yeah,
Ali will have it.
okay, there we go. So I'm sure it's going to be available shortly if it was that impactful. So, all right. Um, yes, Faith. Learning not to be perfect is the key to success. And I think that's something that we need to remind ourselves because you learn by the mistakes. One of the things I was going to say, Arthur, is uh, when I was in Boy Scouts, there was a phrase in when I conducted the Eagle Court of Honors that is so fantastic. I love it. I don't know who said it, but experience is a valuable teacher if you will heed its teachings. Positive or negative, doesn't matter. Experience is a valuable teacher. So, all right, we are coming up to the top of the hour, and if there are no more questions, I think I don't know, Jerome. I don't know if it is Baden Powell, but it could be him. It sounds like something maybe with him. Lord Baden Powell, by the way, is the one who kind of started the scouting movement, the Boy Scouting movement. And so, yeah. Anyways, if there's nothing else, then I think we will go ahead and wrap up today's Ask Me Anything. A reminder that we will be posting some of the links that we shared. Some of them have been posted in the chats. So go ahead and use those. If you're watching on Zoom, click the three dots in the meeting chat next to Ask Me Anything, and then it'll download to your computer. The rest of the stuff I will get to. I'll post the previous link to the 4 agreements, 6-phase meditation, the God memorandum. I'll post those in the post descriptions below the YouTube video so you can have those as well. I got to give shout outs definitely to Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin Carney, Arthur Wainio, and everybody who really participated in today's AMA and who shared in both the chats. And yes, I agree, Scott McAvoy, the 6th agreement. You must tune in to communities like the Saturday AMA. Thank you so much. Robert and Matt will be back next week. Tomorrow we will have the Imaginators call. So if you've got some things to share there, let's go for it. Let's see where we go with that. But yes, we will have our Imaginators session. If you want to join Imaginators, go to roberthollis.com/join and become part of the Imaginators. And until next time. Oh, and I got to shout out to Faith Castillo. Thank you so much for participating as well. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your Saturday to join us here on the AMA's Ask Me Anything. And we look forward to seeing you next time. I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat so we can all say so long and have a great weekend. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
A great weekend, everyone.
And big shout outs to Robert and Matt, also Matt, our executive producer, Robert, for our GPS to success. Take care.